Hi everyone, it's Allie. Today I am card hopping with the members of the Facebook group Handmade Happiness. Every month we're going to bring you a different hop that has a couple of different techniques and one monthly theme. So this is our first month and we are doing ink smushing or ink blending, and then the monthly theme has to do with love or hearts, Valentine, something along those lines. So I picked ink blending, and I grabbed a stamp set by Penny Black called Space Reserved, and I am going to ink blend a background with Catherine Pooler inks. And I decided to pull out my Creative Memories classic cutting system. I'm using Juniper Mist, Daydream, Rose Petals, and Sauna. And then I will tell you later on, I did have to pull in Sangria to get a little deeper of a pinky red. And so what I did was I scored my paper and folded it, and I am using Bristol Smooth. And then I put it on my little cutting mat there and grabbed my blade. So I wanted a circle card, but I wanted a really good hinge on it. So as you can see, you just line up that cutting plate to the edge of the paper. And since you have your paper scored and folded, you're not going to cut that one little edge on the side, and then you're just going to have a card. So I wanted a good hinge because this is going to go to either one of my kids or one of their cousins. And sometimes I feel if I go too far around for a circle card and I have a tiny little hinge on it, that is going to be more apt to break, especially in the hands of a kid. So that is why I kind of left a larger hinge on there. But you can make it as small as you want to get more of a circle look. So I pictured for my card sort of like a night sky background. And I actually wanted to start with my darker colors on the bottom and then go lighter as I got to the top. So as I said, this is Bristol Smooth paper. I do tend to use that when I ink blend because I find it to be the easiest. It's a very smooth paper. So Juniper Mist is on the bottom, and then I went into Daydream, and I'm using my Tailored Expression brushes. Now, I did go back and forth, I would say 3 or 4 times to get the blend that I wanted. I actually wanted it to be a little bit darker. And later on in the video, you'll see that I did pull out my Distress Ink Black Soot just to even add a little bit more of a contrast to the bottom of the card, just because I felt like I just was not getting that. Now you can use the like Tim Holtz or Ranger or scrapbook.com blenders, and they have the little foam tabs or foam applicators on top. And I do feel like when you use those, you will get a deeper blend. And I don't know if that has to do more with the foam because it holds more ink than the brushes. But I tend to gravitate toward the brushes because I think they're just really fun to use. So, but I would recommend if you want a deeper blend to use the foam tools and a lighter blend to use the brushes. So here, because the stamp had like a moon at the top by the bear, I did want the top of this to have that yellow glow. So I used, and I did use shea butter, I'm sorry, I said sauna before. But my rose petals there, I had a hard time with it just because it's dry. So I need to buy a reinker for that. So I did have to pull out my sangria, and I did darken that up a little bit, which I did do off screen. So then I grabbed some water since Catherine Pooler inks are reactive. And I just sprinkled on some water there to get my droplets, grabbed my paper towel, and got a good splattering. And this is when I pulled out that black soot just to add a little bit more dimension at the bottom. And I really liked how that turned out. When I took the pictures, it really it really showed the colors well. So you'll be able to see that. I was really happy with the way this card came out in the end. So, okay, so next I grabbed a stencil, and this is by the Hedgehog Hollow. And I grabbed my Brutus Monroe Chroma Glaze. And if you're looking for some cool glazes or pastes, Brutus Monroe has some really unique ones. And this, I don't even know what texture you can say this is, because it's not as thick as some of the other pastes, and it's not real thin and runny, but it was a really neat glaze to play with. So it's supposed to have like a metallic shine to it, and I'm so sorry, my dog sees something out the window, so he's going to go crazy barking. So I stamped my little image on the Bristol Smooth paper as well, and I pulled out my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers, and I'm just going to show a little snapshot of this. I'm not going to show the whole coloring. I did use the blender. The more I play with their blender, the more I like it. I would usually spread this out with a water brush, but I'm really, really enjoying their blender with it. So I wanted my little bear to be gray. So first I started with like a brown gray, but it wasn't giving me all of the definition that I wanted, so I ended up pulling out a dark gray. And as you can see there, because of the way they drew that stamp, I wanted to make it kind of the same. So I added a lot of flicking motions, and I did not blend that all in because I wanted him to look very furry. So, and I went off screen. So I thought I was on screen, but I wasn't. But at least I pulled it up a little bit there. I also added a little pink to his cheeks, and I think he just came out so darn cute. I just loved him. Okay, so now that I have my image all colored, I fussy cut it out, and then I grabbed my pen knife, and I am just going to cut out some of those middle white pieces. I did want some of that background to show through, and I just thought the piece in between the bear and the moon and some of the pieces in between the ladder rungs, it just showed too much white, and I just didn't like how it looked. So I went ahead and cut all of those out, and I used to be really horrible at using my pen blade, but I'm actually getting a lot better at it, so I'm happy about that. So then I decided that I wanted some black and white flicks in the back, but I decided to put them on with just pens instead of flicking them. I just wanted it a little bit more controlled, and I don't know, once you start adding them though, you want to add a ton. So I really did like how that turned out though in the background. So I just used my Posca white pen, and then I don't even know which black. I have so many different black markers, so I just grabbed one. Any will work to put that on there. And I grabbed my 3M foam tape, and I'm going to pop my little image up there. And I love how this card came out. I really enjoyed making it. It was fun. I hope all of you continue to watch these monthly hops. I can't wait to watch the other girls and see what they came up with. And I thought the card needed a little something extra, so they had this little dragonfly image. So I went ahead and stamped that just right on my card. And because the inks are reactive, I was able to use that to my benefit. So I grabbed my Zig markers and kind of worked with the colors that were underneath it, and I did blend those together. Now, the one dragonfly that was on the darker blue, I just used my blender on him, and I was able to lift that color so he would have a lighter look And I think that came out really neat. So I was really happy with that. And I think they finished off the card for me. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you will hop along with us every month. I will have everything in my description box below. And thanks for joining me. So I will see you again next month. And like I said, please check out everyone's card. We really appreciate you. Thanks. Bye.